Cat Matlala has just destroyed Paul Mashatile's political career. At this point, I'll say it is completely over for Paul Mashatile. Today was absolute chaos in court. Cat Matlala finally pleaded guilty, and he told the judge directly, "I am not going down alone." That statement is causing a lot of panic. Matlala told the court that out of the 360 million rands awarded for the Medicare 24 tender, he used 228 million rands to fund his criminal activities. He admitted this money was used to settle high-ranking corrupt police officers. In fact, he revealed that he used this exact money to pay for Brigadier Rachel Matjeng's BBL. And he didn't stop there. He also confessed to using this money to buy his way to the top. You might remember when it was exposed at the Madlanga Commission that Cat Matlala wanted to handpick the next National Police Commissioner. Well, he just confirmed everything. You might also remember when General Senona revealed that Matlala took his bank card before heading into a secret meeting with Paul Mashatile. Or the money he used to bribe General Julius Mkhwanazi to fit blue lights onto his private cars. It all came out of that same pot of money. On top of all that, he revealed he pocketed 50 million rands just for himself. Dear South Africans, this is your hard-earned tax money we're talking about. He told the court, "Give me 15 years in prison, and I'll expose everything to you." The tension inside that courtroom was unbelievable. Dear viewers, welcome to today's podcast. If you want to see all these criminals who jointly ate your 228 million rand tax money exposed, hit that like button, share this video with everyone, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Type Viva Mkhwanazi in the comments section, because he was the one who blew the whistle and exposed this deep corruption to us. Let's start with the video showing exactly how Paul Mashatile's dirty dealings with Cat Matlala were exposed at the Madlanga Commission. Jabulani, roll the clip.
Was the call about General Sibiya and Deputy President Mashatile that day?
Okay. If I understood you correctly, you're asking if was the call about the card or the call about Deputy President Mashatile and Sibiya, if I'm not mistaken, is how I heard you.
Well, the first question is, was the call on the same day he had called you about the card? So let's maybe answer that first, and then we can get to the second question.
Okay. Maybe to rectify the statement, I might have made a mistake when I say he called me. I called him when I found the card. That is rectification number one. And then this call that he made, it was a call now after I informed him that I found the card. So now, the reason that he called me on this particular day is because he wanted to use that card. And then he further stated that he was going to meet with the General Sibiya and Paul Mashatile.
I mean, we'll come back to who called whom, but what your written statement says is he needs the card urgent, as he was going to meet Deputy President Mashatile and General Sibiya. Was your understanding that he needed the card in relation to his meeting with the Deputy President and General Sibiya?
I would not want to be on his mind at that particular time. I thought he wanted that card because of it belonged to him, but I did not see the picture of how he's going to use his card.
But what you said was he needs the car urgently, or urgent, as he was going to meet Deputy President Mashatile and then meet General Sibiya after that. How did you understand the relationship between his urgent need for the card and the fact that he was going to meet the Deputy President and then General Sibiya? I mean, you're the one who's linked those two.
I'm the one who's what?
Your statement links those two, says he needs the card urgently as he was going to meet Deputy President Mashatile and then meet General Sabia after that. So I want to understand, why was the urgency related to the meetings with the Deputy President and General Sabia?
I would not know why that he needs the card, because he's going to meet the Deputy President and General Sabia. My understanding at the time, he wanted his card, and it was in my possession.
But was he the one who said to you, I need this card urgently as I'm going to meet Deputy President Mashatile and then General Sabia after that? Were those his words?
That's his words.
Then you say you called him, not he called you. That's an error in the statement. But if we look at the statement, it's not consistent with that being an error. Let's start at paragraph 20 at 1339. You say, on my arrival, that's at Mr. Matlala's farm, I was found by him at the gate. Then I took the jet ski away. But later on that week, he phoned me telling me he is looking for the card and driver's license that he left in the dash of the jet ski. So you're saying he didn't call you, you called him. Had you found a driver's license in the jet ski?
That's correct.
But you haven't previously mentioned finding a driver's license in the jet ski in any of your other statements or your testimony here.
I didn't mention it because I never thought it was important, or maybe it was an error, because now the main thing was a Luxuries card. But not that I did not mention the bank, the driver's license, because of it wasn't there.
Is it not possible that you were trying to protect the Deputy President by not mentioning it?
Siqiniswa ukuthi mhlambe wawuzama ukuprotect our Deputy President? No.
Well, let me take you through the various versions that you've given in relation to this card. If we take them chronologically, the first one is the handwritten statement. And I'll take you through all of the versions, and then I want to point out some contradictions that I'd like you to try to explain. The version in the handwritten statement is that in December 2024 or January 2025, Mr. Msibi's son asked you to go and fetch the jet ski from Mr. Matlala. You collected the jet ski from Mr. Matlala's farm. Later that week, Mr. Matlala asked you to look for a card and a driver's license in the dash of the jet ski. You couldn't take it to him because you were busy. You couldn't ask him to come collect it from the office because you weren't there. It implies that you had the card at the office. He wanted the card urgently because he was going to meet with the Deputy President and then General Sabia. So you took pictures of the card and sent them to him. And that statement doesn't mention when the card was returned, but we do know that the pictures were sent on the 23rd of December. That was the first version.
Sergeant Kosi, you confirm everything that Mr. Shaskar just...
I do confirm my...
Thank you.
The second version was in the statement that you gave to the Commission. In that statement, You didn't mention collecting the jet ski from Mr. Matlala's farm. You didn't mention a call from Mr. Matlala. You didn't mention Mr. Matlala saying he needs the card urgently because he's going to meet the Deputy President and then General Sabir. What you did say is at paragraph 5, you say you found the card on the 23rd of December in the boat of Mr. Msibi, and you notified Mr. Matlala that he left in the jet ski, not the boat. And you notified Mr. Matlala that he had left the jet ski, the bank card in the jet ski. That was all on the 23rd of December. You then mention that you have used the card previously to withdraw money on behalf of Mr. Matlala to pay for materials to refurbish his boat and the jet ski of Mr. Msibi that he was using, and also to buy the jet ski service kit. You can't recall the dates when you used the card to withdraw money, but that was way before 23 December. Now,
do you confirm this to Sergeant Kosi, and this relates to the typed statement that you've submitted?
I confirm, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And you also referred then to 2 WhatsApps from Mr. Matlala on the 5th and 21st of January, referring to plastic, which you said was a reference to the card. That was in paragraph 7 of your statement.
You confirm that as well.
Can you repeat that, Mr.?
In paragraph 7 of your statement, you referred to 2 WhatsApps sent by Mr. Matlala on the 5th and 21st of January, where he referred to the card as, quote, plastic, and he complained that the card had long been left at Mr. Msibi's place of abode. I can read the statement to you in your statement. I further aver that the plastic referred to on the WhatsApp's message dated 5 January 2025 and 21 January 25, he was requesting I return to him his card, averred above, as it was long left at Mr. Msibi's place of abode. You see that?
Yes, I see.
Now, there was no mention of these WhatsApps in your written statement. There was no mention in your written statement of your...
But by written, you mean handwritten?
Handwritten statement. There was no mention of the fact that you had made withdrawals on the card to fix the boat and the jet ski. And there was no mention in the written statement that the card had long been at Mr. Msibi's place of abode. The third version was your first version in oral evidence. It was that you found the card in the jet ski on your way back from Mr. Matlala's farm, and you dated that trip back from Mr. Matlala's farm with the jet ski at approximately September 2024. And then your fourth version was another version in oral evidence.
Should we not deal with these one by one and get responses here?
Well, let me take you to your...
Perhaps the third
version.
And let's get a response.
I say, can you explain the circumstances in which you found it? Talking about the card. Was the jet ski at Hammanskraal when you found it? Was the jet ski somewhere else? You say, I found it on my way back. I say, on your way back? You say, to collect it, yes. On my way back to collect the jet ski. And I say, to collect the jet ski from where? And you say, from the farm where it was, at Mr. Matlala's place, Mr. Matlala's farm. So you found it on the way back from collecting it from Mr. Matlala's farm, and you have earlier in your evidence on the same day confirmed that you collected the jet ski in around September.
Did you see that? After this testimony, Paul Mashatile was visibly panicking. Now that Kat Matlala has decided to expose absolutely everyone involved, all we can say to them is, sorry, your time is up. Now let's watch the entire courtroom scene unfold. Jabulani, roll the clip.
It's from Mr. Matlala in respect of his children. Mr. Makubela is best placed to address the court in respect thereof. So with your leave, I'll allow him to address you on those.
Thank you. Yes.
Maluleke, Your Worship, I see my colleague has made a mistake. I just want to correct the record. Indeed, we have consulted with the accused with regard to the situation concerning his children. We've also gone as far as trying to reach out to his wife, who is present before court. And the position is that he's a primary caregiver out of 6 of his minor children. That being Kwetsi, Leranzo, and Lulu, aged 12, 10, and 11, as well as Ntokozo, Subusiso, and Malaika. Although Ntokozo is 21 years old, Subusiso is 20 years, Malaika is 16 years old. The position is that, in fact, apologies, Your Worship, I misread it. The other 3 minor children is Vusi Jr., is Shoki, Nganyezi, and Subusiso. They all reside in his house in Mistri. He is 100% responsible for all their living expenses, their support. That will include also the issues of school fees and all medical related issues to do with these minor children.
If you look at the definition of what is a primary caregiver, it excludes if it's a mere breadwinner or person responsible for the finances or looking after the children financially. It is more focused on whether this person is the one that takes care daily of the children's emotional needs, feed them, get them ready for school, ensure that they attend school, etc. That is a primary caregiver. Does your client fall under such?
Ever since he's been incarcerated, it no longer falls under that, but prior to his arrest, that was his responsibility.
Those aspects I've mentioned now.
Yes.
Are there then people that are now taking care of the children?
Your Worship, may I approach my colleagues? Seems like they are trying to get my attention. Thank you for the indulgence, Your Worship. Your Worship, that is the role that he was playing prior to his incarceration. I must just add that of the 6, 3 are based in a different house, wherein his current wife resides. And she currently is the one who's fulfilling that position in the interim. Let's go, please.
Yes, sir. How does this change everything?
Worship,
There's a clear duty on this court, in line with constitutional decisions, that I have a duty to ensure that the children are looked after, best interests are looked after. And now it comes to light that the accused is a primary caregiver, and it is still unclear as to who is taking over that role, whether it still be looked after. How does that impact on your plea and sentence agreement? Because at the end of the day, I must still evaluate all the evidence prior to me establishing whether this is a just sentence.
All right, God.
Advocate, are you able to confirm then that the prosecutor who then entered into the plea and sentence agreement with the accused persons consulted with the person charged with the investigation of the case and had due regard to the nature and circumstances relating to the offence, the personal circumstances of the accused persons, previous convictions of the accused, if any, and the interests of the community, this in compliance with section 105 capital A subsection 1B Roman 1 and 2.
Your Worship, I do confirm that we have in our possession an affidavit by Senior Criminal Investigator in the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, Mr. Sunil Belochan. Your Worship, he has deposed to an affidavit. May I have leave to hand it in?
You may read it into record.
As the court pleases. Your Worship, my learned friends have been provided with a copy of this document as well. I, Sunil Belochan, do hereby make oath and status the following. 1. I am employed by the National Prosecuting Authority of South Africa as a senior criminal investigator in the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption. I am the lead investigating officer in Silverton CAS 285/03/2026. 2. The facts deposed to herein are derived both from the affidavits obtained, documentation at my disposal, and from my personal knowledge, both true and correct. 3. The investigating director, as head of IDEC, authorized an investigation into this matter. 4. The accused in this matter are 4.1 Vusimuzi Matlala, accused number 2. 4.2 Medicare24 Tshwane District Pty Ltd, accused number 2, represented by accused number 1. And 4.3 Luxo Africa Brand Investments Pty Ltd, accused number 3, represented by accused number 1. 5. Accused number 1 appeared in the Pretoria Magistrates Court on the 26th of March 2026. 6. Accused number 1 was requisitioned from custody as he was in the custody in an unrelated matter. 7. Accused number 1 did not apply for bail in this matter. 8. Accused number 1 was thereafter served to appear on behalf of accused number 2 and accused 3 in terms of section 332 of the Criminal Procedure Act. 9. During the first appearance of accused number 1, the accused indicated that he would like to enter a plea and sentence discussions with the state. 10. The authorized prosecutors, Deputy Director Advocate S. Manilal, Senior State Advocate R. Creel, had discussed the plea and sentence agreement with me on the 22nd of June 2026. 11. I understand that the accused will plead guilty as set out below. The charges, count 1, fraud. The charges are reflected in Annexure D were perused by me, wherein the SAPS awarded the accused number 1 and 2, a tender in the amount of 228 million. 12.2, the SAPS paid Medicare Tshwane District, accused number 2, the amount of 50,310,590 rands 68 cents in 199 payments to the actual prejudice of SAPS. 12.3, the contract was obtained by way of fraudulent misrepresentations. 12.4, the accused therefore plead guilty to count 1 as contained in the charge sheet and admit that they have no valid defense to say. 12.5, counts 2 to 4, the corruption charges. 12.6, after SAPS paid Medicare 24 Tshwane District, accused 2, the amount of 50,310,590.68 in 199 payments, accused number 1 as the sole director and owner of Medicare 24 Tshwane District, accused 2, and director and majority shareholder of Luxuries Africa Brand Investments, accused 3, paid multiple SAPS members from the proceeds of the fraudulent tender award. 12.7. These payments to public officers being SAPS members were unlawful and intentional and constituted gratifications for their facilitation. 12.8. The accused paid 1 Rachel Matjeng, a member of the SAPS, who was stationed in the division Forensic Science Services. Matjeng was one of the end users of the services that were rendered by accused number 1 and 2 in terms of the contract awarded to accused 1 and 2. 12.9, Matjeng's role and responsibilities within SAPS was abused in that she referred multiple members from SAPS for medical screening to accused 2 that resulted in purchase orders being issued in relation to the services that accused 2 was contracted to provide and thereby enabled accused 2 to invoice the SAPS whilst receiving undue gratifications from accused 1. 12.10, the funds were made to Matjeng in a clandestine manner in order to prevent detection of the said payments as follows. 12.11, electronic funds transfers were made from the First National Bank account number 6282441161 of accused 2 to the First National Bank account number 630209562223 of Luxuries Africa Brand Investments, accused 3, of which accused number 1 held directorships in both accused 2 and 3. 12.2. From the First National Bank account of accused 3, account number 6247888190, funds were transferred to an account held by Ozweni Meat Hyper Pty Ltd, which was nominated by Rachel Matjeng. 12.13. The funds were thereafter transferred from the First National Bank account of Ozweni Meat Hyper to the personal account of Modigi Christina Kekana. 12.14. Subsequently, the funds were in the personal account of Christina Kekana, account number 93655066146, was withdrawn and made available to Matjeng. 12.15. A total amount of 300,000 was paid in tranches in amounts of 100,000 in 3 equal payments to Matjeng. These payments were made in or about 13 January 2025, 4 February 2025, and 17 March 2025. Counts 12.16, counts 5 to 7, the money laundering charges. The accused, being accused number 1, 2, and 3, contravened Section 4 of POCA. 12.18, in that the movement of funds emanating from the contract induced by fraud, as set out above, through various accounts as set out in paragraph 48 above, resulted in the disguise or concealment of the nature, source, origin, movement, location, or disposition of the said funds. 12.19. The funds amounting to 50,310,590.68 received by accused 2 from the SAPS as payments pursuant to the unlawfully awarded contract constitute proceeds of unlawful activities. 13. I understand that the accused will plead guilty to all counts as attached to the agreement. 14. I confirm that I have been consulted with due regard to, amongst others, the AA, nature of the circumstances relating to the offence, B, personal circumstances of the accused, C, previous convictions of the accused, if any, and D, interests of the community. And 15, I understand that the accused will be sentenced as stipulated in paragraph 84 to 91 of the plea and sentence agreement. 16, I confirm that I have had insight into the proposed plea and sentence agreement, and after consideration of all factors mentioned therein, I am in agreement with the proposal. Consultation with the complainant. 17. Major General Charity Matlala of the South African Police Services was also consulted to me prior to concluding this affidavit. She and I agreed with the terms and sentences.
That form to make suggestions to the parties of how it should read, and then the parties can agree to it.
As the court pleases.
Mr. Matlala, you may stand up. For the reasons stated already on record, I'm postponing your matter now till next week, 1 July 2026, back to this court. I will request the parties to please be time conscious, as you were all this morning. I intend to start already with this matter at 8:30, as I also have other matters on the roll that day. So please be time conscious. If the media is interested to be here, please ensure that your equipment is ready for the court to commence at 8:30 with its finding as to whether the agreed sentence may be regarded as just, in which instance I will hand down judgment. Furthermore, it must be noted the accused has not yet been convicted of any of the counts. The judgment will only follow if the court finds that indeed it is a just sentence. Mr. Matlala, you will remain in custody till then. I request the prosecution to ensure that transport be arranged for Mr. Matlala from prison, because people in custody normally only arrives here at 9:30, which will be too late. Do you understand, Mr. Matlala?
Yes, sir.
You may stand down. Court is adjourned.
All right.